Okay, let's get right into it. For so many of us, period pain is just a fact of life. But have you ever stopped to wonder what is actually happening inside your body to cause that very specific, deep cramping feeling? Well, today, we're going to break down the biology of a cramp step by painful step.
I want you to think about this for a second. When you feel a cramp, it isn't some outside force acting on you. Your body is literally causing its own pain. It's a really fascinating and, let's be honest, kind of frustrating process.
So, yeah, that feeling is incredibly familiar to a lot of people. But while you're experiencing all that on the outside, there's this really complex chain of events going on deep inside. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's really happening. It all kicks off with this one thing. Your uterus, which is basically one big muscle, starts to contract. And we're not talking about little flutters here. We're talking powerful, intense, squeezing contractions. Hard. Now, this isn't just happening for no reason. Your body is on a mission. It has a very important job to do. It's trying to shed that uterine lining that it spent the whole last month carefully building up. And these contractions, they're the only way to get that job done. And as anyone who's been through this knows, the pain doesn't always stay put, right? It can feel sharp and deep, and it seems to travel. That's because it radiates, usually to your lower back, sometimes down your thighs, and all across your stomach. And there's a very specific reason for that, which we're about to get into. So what's telling your uterus to squeeze so hard in the first place? What's the command coming from? Well, to get that, we have to meet the chemical triggers behind the whole operation, these little things called prostaglandins. So what are they? You can think of prostaglandins as tiny chemical messengers. They're like little notes being passed to your uterine muscle with just one single instruction on them: squeeze. That's their job.
And here's where it gets really interesting. It's a numbers game. The intensity of your cramps is directly tied to the number of prostaglandins your body releases. The more of those little messengers it sends out, the harder and the more painfully your uterus contracts.
So this brings us to the main event, what we can call the contraction cascade. It's this wild and, yeah, painful chain reaction where each step pretty much immediately triggers the next one, just like dominoes falling, all leading to that feeling we know as a cramp. Okay, so let's walk this path together. First, the uterus floods the area with a ton of prostaglandins. This makes the contractions go into overdrive. They get so strong that they literally squeeze the nearby blood vessels shut. So for a moment, blood flow to the uterine tissue gets cut off. And what's in blood? Oxygen. When the tissue is deprived of that oxygen, it panics. That triggers local pain nerves to fire off an alarm signal straight to your brain. And that alarm signal, that's the pain. But why does the pain feel like it's all over the place? Well, you can think of it like a shared electrical circuit. The same nerve pathways that are connected to the uterus are also connected to your lower back and your thighs. So when those nerves send that emergency signal, the brain knows something's up, but it gets a little confused about where the problem is coming from. So it just lights up the whole circuit board with pain signals. Now, hearing all that, it's so easy to think your body is malfunctioning, right? Like this is some kind of flaw in the system. But here's where we can kind of flip the script. Let's try to reframe this whole thing. What if we don't look at it as a flaw, but as part of the actual design? First, let's just get one thing straight. This isn't some rare emergency. This whole cascade we just walked through, the chemicals, the intense squeezing, all of it, this happens to some degree every single month. For the body, it's just routine. And that leads to this really powerful idea. Your body isn't broken. It is meticulously designed to do this exact sequence of events. It's actually the most effective system it has to get a really necessary biological job done. So if it's all part of the design, then why does it hurt so much? And here is the big takeaway. The pain isn't a sign that the system is failing. It's a sign that some months the system is just working a little too well. Your body gets overenthusiastic, it produces way too many prostaglandins, the contractions get way too intense, and the pain you feel is just the byproduct of that extreme efficiency. You know, understanding all this biology helps us ask much better questions. We know it's a chain reaction kicked off by these chemical messengers, so it really makes you wonder, if it's all just chemistry, why does it so often seem to hurt more when you're stressed? Could our stress hormones be interacting with this whole system, kind of turning the dial up on the pain? It's a fascinating connection to think about.